Hi, this is Jill Varvel with the DixieCast podcast. Today I'm at Tontitown Winery with owner Heather Rinaldi Peachy, and we are going to take a tour of this beautiful winery and conclude with an interview with Heather. So let's come on and grab a glass of wine and take a look inside. I drove past the Tontitown Winery easily 100 times before stopping in and checking it out. The first time I visited was somewhere like right around July of 2022. I can remember having done a ton of shopping and was about to head home, and then I realized we were having friends over and I didn't have any wine to serve with dinner. And I really didn't want to head back into town and thought how delightful it would be to serve a local wine from a local winery. And that's what prompted me to pay a visit. What I didn't realize is what a pretty place Tontitown Winery really is, and how the exterior, as pretty as it is, doesn't adequately reveal what is beyond the front door. This is more than just a local winery. It's a destination for picking up some local gifts native to Tontitown. It's a place that features weekly bingo for the local community, live music on Friday and Saturday nights, a menu of homemade food, desserts, bocce ball, a playground for kids to play while their parents can sip wine, listen to music, and keep a watchful eye on them. But most of all, it's all run by a long-time local family. The Rinaldi family have done quite a lot to put Tontitown on the map. Between their multi-generational Rinaldi family farm, local farm supply, and seasonal grocery store, in many ways they've contributed to the city's growth and success. The Tontitown Winery, in turn, has thrived along with the rest of the family's ventures. Yet like their other businesses, the Tontitown Winery remains personable and accessible, with the family staffing the floor and interacting with their customers. It's this personable service that led me to keep returning to the winery. After repeated gracious interactions with their staff, I called and asked if I might be able to interview an employee for the DixieCast. Owner-operator Heather Rinaldi Peachy went a step beyond and granted me a personal interview on her day off. So please join us for a conversation about family, food, and good wine. So Heather, this is such a beautiful venue, such a beautiful location. How long has the Tontitown Winery been in business?
This is actually our 13th, we're going into our 13th year. In October will be our anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how long have you personally been involved with it?
My husband and I actually bought this house to open a winery. And we, it was a family home, not our family home, but a family lived in it. The reason why we bought this house is because it was one of the original homes in Tontitown, known as the Taldo House. And so we found the perfect location and then bought it, and it had a lot of cleaning up to do, and we kind of started from ground up.
So what we're looking at today then is not as you purchased it.
No, not at all.
So now this room that we're in right now, I understand that this is where the music, some of the music is live music?
Yes. In the winter, we do live music and bingo weekly events here in this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long has this beautiful room been part of the winery?
I think we added this in 2018, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we opened in 2010, and then before that we had no seating inside, and so we built this on.
So what motivated you and your husband to start this?
We wanted to carry on the traditions of that we have here in Tontitown and in my family. My dad is the last commercial grape grower here in Tontitown. He has Rinaldi Farms just down the road. And growing up, we always made wine. He always made wine in our basement. And then we would help him stomp the grapes and things like that as kids. and the reason why that he started making wine in the basement is because the home that we were raised in is the same home that he was raised in. And my grandpa was a winemaker for 35 years for Granada's Winery that used to be here in Tontitown. And so at home, my grandpa had, a small, very small, home brew wine in the basement of the house. So my dad is the youngest of 7 kids, and all of his parents and grandparents passed away by the time he was 16 years old. And he ended up staying in the house, and then we were raised in that house, and it was just kind of a tradition in our family. Tontitown has always been known for growing grapes and making wine, but there hasn't been a winery here since the 80s. The last winery, Neil's Winery, closed in the mid 80s. And, but still Tontitown's kind of known for it. And so we decided just to open it to bring back the tradition.
I had no idea about that story. That just feels so real,
Yeah.
It's like not like some jet setter coming to Tontitown and open up a winery. I mean, this is like tradition.
Yeah.
This is special.
Yeah.
So what is a typical day look like for you as kind of, I know you do a lot here.
Yes. Thankfully, we start later in the day. We open at 11, and I love my mornings. So after a slow morning, we come in, and we have such an awesome staff, so we don't have to do everything ourselves anymore. But kind of as a team, we all do everything. So there's never a situation where it's not my job around here. And I love that. So we're all serving wine. We're all making food and taking care of customers and loving on the customers. That's something that I really push around here. And then on top of, just the daily stuff, I do a lot of, administrative things as well. My husband, David, is our winemaker. So he worked for 15 years for the University of Arkansas. And just last October, he got to quit at the U of A and came full-time here. So he now does he always did it, but during normal business hours, he does the winery work, and things are getting fixed quicker than they were, and it's pretty nice.
Wow. So, what would you say that, I mean, maybe tell me about your clientele. Is it like a lot of local people, or do you find that there's a lot of tourists coming in?
It's kind of a mix.
Yeah.
And I like that. Whenever we started, it was the majority of our customers were locals. But the word spread over the last 12, 13 years. So now, we do have a lot of people, this is I've been told the second largest entrance into the state of Arkansas, Highway 412. So we get a lot of people coming from Oklahoma, going to maybe Branson or Eureka or here to Northwest Arkansas. So lots of them coming through, still a good amount of locals, and then just like Tontitown locals, and then Northwest Arkansas locals as well.
Yeah.
Because really Tontitown's pretty centrally located.
Right.
Another thing that we really pride ourselves in is being family friendly. So we love people of all ages. Mm-hmm. That's why several years ago, probably 10 years ago, we put in the playground because we wanted to have something for everybody.
Yeah, that is wonderful. People can sit outside and, sip their wine and have their charcuterie board, and the kids can play and they can see them. Yeah. So it's really well designed and thought out. So really good job on that.
Thank you.
So I noticed, and I don't know if this is a recent thing, maybe you can tell me about it. I noticed you have like really good food here. Maybe you can tell me about that and how that sort of evolved.
Sure. So for the first, 10 years or so, we really just opened to serve wine. To sell wine by the bottle originally. Right. Mm-hmm. And then we started doing live music. So we served a lot by the glass, and we had food trucks that would come to our music events. And then after the COVID shutdown is whenever bars could open, or restaurants could open, but bars couldn't. And that's, we had always considered having a restaurant. And we contacted our health inspector to see what it would take to start a restaurant. And we were already ready to go, apparently. So we made a menu of pretty simple things, but unique things. And it has gone over so well. It really, I think, is one of the smarter things that we've done. Because it's not a huge menu, but it's all intentional. It goes with the wine and beer and things like that we're serving here.
And I noticed the other day, I saw some chocolate cake, tiramisu, and some carrot cake lurking in your fridge up front. Now, tell me about that.
We do make all of our desserts here.
Okay.
In fact, we've all kind of done the cooking and the baking and everything. And just recently we hired my mother-in-law to come, and she does our baking early in the mornings on Mondays and Thursdays now. Mm-hmm. So that's been kind of fun to get. She recently retired, so she gets to come and be a part of it too. But they're delicious.
They are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed. And I'm not even a chocolate cake fan, but I like that chocolate cake.
That one is really good. Yeah.
Yes. So in addition, like I'm also noticing, you have like games around here at the tables. It's a really kind of fun place to just kick it. Do you have anything like in store or anything coming up new to expect, or some new development here at the winery? Or
well, we always we've grown slowly. We've said that we've grown with it, and so our next, it's not really a huge deal, but our next addition will be our next edition last year or the year before, we got new railing and we redid the patio out there. Mm-hmm. And then, there's lights above the one part of the patio, but we are going to add lighting above the rest of the patio. We're going to add some more shade sails, add lighting, really high lighting above the parking lot so big trucks can still get under. We do use, block off the parking lot for seating during music events and bingo events. So we're going to kind of expand our area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it looks really very tastefully done.
Thank you.
So in terms of your wines, do you have like a bestseller?
We do. Our Italian Red's always our bestseller.
Okay.
It's a Merlot and Concord blend mostly, and it's comparable to a Chianti. Mm-hmm. So it's dry, but not super dry. Okay. And it's sells best here and really everywhere we take it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so as we wrap things up, where can people learn more about like your music venue, upcoming, musical talents that are, and just maybe tell us the days that typically occurs?
Sure. So everything is on our website at tontitownwinery.com. And it has, we host live music on Friday and Saturday nights, inside in the winter, outside in the summer. We also do bingo on Wednesday night. And I'll tell you, the bingo caught on really well. We have awesome crowds, and it's a really fun time. One of our girls, Mandy, was born for the bingo caller job. She's working today, and she's precious. And really, Wednesday nights are a party for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this interview and showing us your lovely winery. Was there anything that you would like to add, or anything about the Tontitown Winery that people might not otherwise be aware of?
One of our little hidden secrets around here is we a few years ago added a bocce court. Most people don't see it. It's in between the wine building, like the winery building, and our storage building. And it's actually the only one in the area that's like it. It's like an AstroTurf lighting above bocce court, and it's fun. There are instructions on the sign out there, but it just really doesn't get the use that we hoped. I think because one, a lot of people don't see it, and two, it's a lot of people don't know what bocce is, and so it's another fun draw. We just need to kind of do better to spread the word.
Yeah, no, I discovered it just kind of wandering around, kind of eyeballing your property, and I noticed that, and this is so embarrassing because here I'm like, Sicilian, 100%. I didn't know it was pronounced bocce.
Do you say bocce?
Yes.
So I've always said Northerners say bocce.
Okay.
We say bocce. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's true. But here in Tontitown, we all say bocce.
Okay.
Well,
so good to know.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I sound like a local next time
right.
I reference it. So.
Yeah. And you got to come play sometime.
Absolutely.
It's
I
really
actually
fun.
have played before, only once in my life, but I'm terrible at it. But it is kind of a fun, and it's cool because it's cultural. I mean, it's like, it's just like the perfect little addition here. So I
it really
appreciate that.
is.
But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have known it was there.
I know.
Yeah.
We've really got to do a better job of promoting that thing.
Yeah. It'll come. It'll come. So.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you again for joining me today on the DixieCast podcast, The Sound of the South. And we'll see you next time for another heaping helping of Southern comfort for your ears. I had such a lovely time talking with Heather. I decided to return on Friday night to hear their live music. By the time I got halfway there, it started drizzling. But the summer rain didn't keep away the lively crowd of couples and families. In the distance from Highway 412, I could see the winery, and holy cow, the parking lot was packed. Those string lights illuminated the outdoor patio, and the Atlantics were playing American rock classics. Couples danced, kids ran to the playground, and there was Heather enjoying the fruits of her labor with her husband and friends. As I watched the servers bring out piping hot pizzas, I ordered a watermelon slushie and sat under the stars listening to the Atlantics cover Van Morrison's Wild Nights. What I love about this winery is you don't have to trek to one of the Northwest Arkansas's many downtowns in order to enjoy this kind of ambiance. Instead, you can go into the country to a family-owned small business. It's an upscale atmosphere with a family-friendly feel. So thanks again for sharing another Northwest Arkansas experience with me on the DixieCast. And please visit the Tontitown Winery, located conveniently off of 412 in Tontitown, Arkansas. I'm Jill Varvel, and this is the DixieCast, the Sound of the South.